Welcome to the Wexford Football League show. Tonight we have a packed show for you. We'll review and preview the games coming up and last week's games, and we'll also be joined by Ken Ratty of Parkville FC and Joe New of Crossabeg FC to discuss their big LFA game at the weekend. Well, Nicky, you've had to insult me here for the last 5 minutes, so we'll get down to some of the serious stuff that's going on in Wexford soccer now.
Well, you can explain why we were insulting you. It's coming on our year's anniversary, and I don't know whether the camera's being nice to you or watchable.
It's adding £10 from a year ago, isn't it? That.
So why do you think I hired this year?
So we're at now roughly a year now, Nicky. How do you think it's going? I've enjoyed it, I have to say, and been great success with the clubs and all involved. Backed us 100% in fairness. Most
of the clubs have anyway. So there's been a few of them that haven't come in and
I always have to have a shot at someone.
I know. Look at the clubs have been backing it. A lot will tell now next week when we have the cup draws on, and we will be inviting all the clubs in. So look at, and let's be honest about it, and we're doing it for the clubs. It's out to promote them. It's out to promote their league. At the minute, we're not involved with anybody, so we're promoting everybody else. But yeah, it's been enjoyable. The year has. It still keeps your finger in the pie. You're having a look at games. Excuse the pun now, Aidan.
Insult Aidan.
So, but I know. Look at it. I've enjoyed it. Maybe nobody else has, but I've really enjoyed it. And you?
Yeah, you forgot to say on the books the boys left you there.
I know. I'm slouched down here, nice and comfy.
And look, it's been great. It's great to actually know more people in the clubs. Usually, when we were managing, you only kind of know the premier managers. It was great to get down the divisions, and was at the Division 4 game there a couple of weeks ago. I really enjoyed that. I was surprised at the standard of it. So I think that part for me has been really enjoyable. Yeah,
no, I agree. And when you're involved in a club or when you're managing a club, you just get solely wrapped up in what you're doing. And no, I've really enjoyed it getting out. Enjoyed getting the feedback off a lot of clubs. Not all of us. Some people will be giving out and they take every word we say as gospel. At the end of the day, it's only our opinion. Well, you don't give an opinion, you sit on the fence, but I give my opinion anyway. So
it's because you have a high opinion of yourself.
I have to have something high because I'm not too tall.
As I said, we've a packed show. We look back at the FAI game, great win for Gorey. We'll look back at that later. And we have two big games in Leinster this weekend. So now we're joined on the phone by Ken Ratty from Navan Parkville side. Evening, Ken. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
So bad. Maybe you're joined with myself and Nicky here. Maybe you'll start by telling our viewers there the club you're involved with and whereabouts in Ireland you're based.
Yeah, I'm senior coach with Parkville FC. We're based in Navan, County Meath. We were established in 1966, and we're in the North Eastern Football League, which is Cavan, Meath, Monaghan and Louth, the Premier Division.
Yeah. Before we get into the game of the weekend, I might just ask you, because there's with the FAI pathway thing coming up there that we might be changed to a calendar year. It's a big story down here in Wexford, but yous are in your pre-season at the moment because yous are a calendar year. When did yous change, and how has it affected soccer up that part of the country? Yeah, well,
we're in the calendar year since 2018. We were with the Leinster Senior right up until then, and we chose to, with travel reasons, we chose to come to the local league, which just happened that when the year we were coming, that it was changing to a calendar season. So 2018, what happened was at the end of the traditional season, when it finished around August, it ran right through. What they had was a short season, which went from the end of August, I suppose, right through till November, and then they fully started in the following March of 2019 to do a full season, and we've been in it since. So we're in pre-season at the minute. Our league doesn't kick off until the beginning of April.
And how are you finding it as a club? Is it easier to attract players or harder to attract players? Would you have a crossover with GA or just soccer players?
Yeah, well, we'd have a few GA players. I try best to work that if they're playing GA and soccer, if they can train one night with us, because we haven't that fast a pick to be able to pick and choose. But there's not an awful lot of clash, to be honest with you, which is fortunate for both of us. But I personally, I wouldn't be a fan of it. I just think there's too many breaks throughout the season. Coming in then trying to get pre-season friendlies in January, February, when pitches really are wet and it's hard to get pre-season friendlies then, and you have a break then mid-season as well. You have 2 weeks maybe 3 weeks off the end of July into August, which is, again, you're trying to keep fellas interested and motivated and training, and it just breaks the whole season up for me. So personally, I wouldn't be a fan of it for that reason.
Yeah, sounds very stop-starty, all right, with the midweek break.
Yeah, it is stop-start, and you come towards the end of the season then, and you can rush games in. You're getting games going left, right, and centre as well. So personally, I'm not a fan, but towards attracting players, it's much the same. Lads play, if they're playing soccer, they play soccer without summer or winter, so it doesn't really make much of a difference to them that way.
No, we'll get into the game then. You're playing Crossabeg. We know well here in Wexford. You're saying you're just in your pre-season, so how will that affect when Crossabeg are bang in the middle of their season? How do you think that'll affect the game, or do you think it'll have any effect on it?
Well, I'd imagine they're in the middle of the league, so they'll be fully fit and playing a lot more competitive games that we have played. We hadn't played. Our last competitive games were November, after we come back after Christmas, and we have had the couple of rounds in this. Is the only competitive games we played, I suppose, since Christmas. So I'd imagine they'll be well ahead of us on fitness and in competitive games as well. So it'll be tough. They're obviously last 16, so they're obviously next inside. I haven't seen them because I didn't get a chance to get down to see them, and you keep shut up shop down there, so you can't get any information off anyone down there, and rightly so. But as I'd expect,
you haven't ranged the right person. You had to ring Nicky. He'd have given you all info on him. No. He wouldn't be a fan of Crossabeg.
All right. But
hi, Jane.
How are you, Mickey?
How are you doing? Don't mind Aidan there. I'm a fan of all Wexford teams down here, so I am. Tell me, how do you actually prepare then? Obviously, well, I know the weather hasn't been great down here in Wexford. There's been a lot of games called off over the last couple of weeks, but have you had any kind of practice matches at all? We've been
fortunate that there's a UEFA Astro that we have here that we're fortunate enough to get the last couple of rounds on since Christmas, and we got one other friendly as well, again, a team just in the lower division, and then last week we had to have a shield, a pre-season shield, it's Commission Shield it's called here, and you get 3 games, so it's a kind of a pre-season competitive matches here, but we've only played one of them as well, so we've only had 4 competitive matches, competitive matches since last November, and we're just training obviously 2 nights a week, and that's the best we can do. We just have to make do what we have at the minute, and hopefully it's enough on Sunday.
Yeah, I don't think Crossabeg have had a whole lot many more games than that. Their pitch hasn't been playable over the last couple of weeks, even though they played on it last week, all right. But look at Crossabeg are up in the Premier in Wexford the last couple of years, and Joe and the boys they're fighting to keep themselves in the division. So are you looking forward to the game?
Yeah, we are definitely. We're looking forward to it. It's not something we would have prioritised at the start of when we started it out. But when you get to, I suppose, the last 16, and Trim Celtic team that actually won the Leicester Junior Cup last year, we finished runners-up to them last season in the league and the year before. So it's I suppose it's a competition that we can go deep into, considering Trim, and we beat Trim once last year as well. So it's something that we can, now that we're this far, we are taking serious, and hopefully we can get another couple of wins, and who knows where you end up after that.
Is it a competition you would have set out from the start of the year? I know it's kind of in the middle of your end of your season, start of your following season. Is it a competition you aim to try to do well in, or is it just something you use as maybe a pre-season friendly?
Well, initially it was to be used sort of as a pre-season, that when our league campaign kicked off, that we have had competitive matches. But as I said, when Trim won it last year, it sort of opened their eyes and said, look, we can get a good run in it, or maybe, who knows, if Trim could win it. There's nothing from saying we can't either. There's a lot of excellent junior teams in Leinster at the minute as well. But it's something we're definitely taking serious now at this stage anyway.
Yeah, look, Nicky was saying about Crossabeg, their form in the league, they've struggled, but they've done really well in this competition. You yourself just had a great win against Tala in the last round. Yeah, we did. No, we had a couple of injuries that night. We had 2 lads ended up in the A&E on that night, and we had a couple of injuries before that. But I suppose that happens in pre-season as well. But it was a good win against Tala. We struggled in the end. We were down to sort of 11 players. We used all our 5 subs and sort of back to the wall. They got a late goal in the end, but we done really well. We dug in deep, and it was probably stood for us that game
physically for the fitness boys, because we really had to. Everyone had to be work hard on that night. But it was a good win. Tala are a good side. And they probably might have felt hard done by in the night, but we thought we deserved to win. We were clinical when we got a chance.
Yeah, you got to tell us any players maybe that we should be watching out for
us
on the day.
No, look, we're not about individuals. We're more about a team. We're very young. I brought a schoolboy team through under the 2021 the FAI Cup final, the under 17 FAI Cup final. We were beaten by Merview in that one, and we've a few players from that team who'll be 21 now are playing with us. And then we've a mixture of a few older lads that are around a bit, and so we have a good mixture of youth and a bit of experience. We've probably one particular player that will be one of our better players, which I'll wait and let the lads figure him out on Sunday at some stage. But no, look, I'm sure across the back of the excellent team.
You're not a politician by any chance, are you? Because that's one of the best answers I've ever heard come out of a manager's mouth.
No, geez, no. But, look, we'll be looking to watch out for prospect. They'll have them sure there's excellent players as well. As you said yourself, the league form doesn't matter when you go into cup matches like this. It's all about on the day. Anyone can win, So we've given them plenty of respect, and fingers crossed we can do the job.
You look after him after the match as well.
Absolutely, yeah. We will, of course. They actually were looking to change time and date, but we couldn't facilitate them, unfortunately, just because we're our home pitches. There's a hall and we roll and track around that, and there'll be a lot of activity on it in the morning, and just couldn't facilitate to bring it early, and the referees then one of the officials.
Appreciate that, Ken, and thanks for taking the call. Really appreciate that.
No problem.
Cheers,
Ken.
A little bit of luck on Sunday. I can't say the best of luck, really. So,
of course.
No, but look, obviously the league up there are going really well with Trim and yourselves going well. So, keep up the great work, and hopefully myself and Aidan and the boys will get up there one of the days.
Hopefully so. Yeah. Listen, thanks a million, lads, and best of luck to Crossbeg too. Cheers. Thanks.
See you, Ken.
Bye.
And now we're joined by Crossbeg manager John Yu. He used to be my assistant one upon a time. And just a warning of Joe, Nicky's on fire tonight now with the insults, so be careful. Big game at the weekend. Is it furthest Crossbeg got to last 16, or have they been in around that way before?
No, it's the furthest they've got in the Leinster Junior Cup anyway. They did make the Leinster Junior Shield semi-final back in, I think it was 98, 99. Like Mick Halpin and Des Keogh. Neil Gary was probably on it as well that time. So
that the manager and actually is out the last Wexford Cup.
the same, the one and only
coach Stephen is manager, I think, is he?
I'm still hearing about it.
We just spoke to Parkfield's manager Ken Ratty. He was just saying it's their pre-season, and the last competitive game was against Tala. I think you had that game watched. How do you think them being in pre-season and you's been in middle of your season will affect the game, or will it have any effect on it?
I'd say it might be a little bit fresher, maybe. We haven't played that many games either, but we are going since July, I suppose. So we're going a long time. There just might be a bit fresher. I'd probably like a few more games if we were going into it. But still, it's the last 16. It's game's a game. Soccer matches all the same.
Yeah, he was saying, in fairness to him, he took me by a bit of surprise. They're training 3 nights a week, which is a good going for pre-season, in fairness, isn't it?
Yeah, just and he sounded like they were very professional in everything, and like they finished runners up to Trim the last 2 years, and I was very surprised with Trim last year. Remember the build up to the Leinster Junior Cup and their players day and all of that. So they sound like they're not going to be coming down to mess around, or they're not travelling up there for them to mess around or anything like that. So. Any injury concerns or anything like that? Everybody went into travel?
Oh, the whole team be injured.
No, everyone's travelling up. We'll go up on a bus for this one. So yeah, everyone is back fit. That wasn't there last week. Will be there this week, hopefully. So should have most of the lads in it.
I was following your game last week on the app. I see Ronan didn't start. I presume that was an injury. He be fully fit for the weekend?
He'll be fit for the weekend. He was sick actually. I was
thinking you wouldn't have dropped him.
No, he was sick. Sick from Friday night. Trained Friday night, and then he was sick after that. Just we couldn't get back. It came a bit too early for him. So, Yeah, he'll be travelling up as well Sunday.
And you were saying to us earlier you had the game match against Tala because you obviously knew you were going to play the winner. Anyone stick out for them? Talking to Ken, they seem to do have one player. He said we'll find out after Sunday who he was. So it sounds like he was good. Anyone stick out for you?
His I don't know if it's his son or nephew, or just a keen
Ratty
on it. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe that's him. He was decent enough. They're fairly combative in the middle of the field, and very good on the ball as well. So the lads in the centre of the field won't get it easy off him. But yeah, won't give away too much. But
Leinster's been going very well for you. The league form's been not where you'd want it. Any reason why?
Not really. No, I suppose we've had most of the Leinster games we've had home draws. You'd obviously prefer it to be transferred across into the league, but the league has kind of been stop start for us. No real reason behind it. I think I don't know, we've gone out the same against every team in Leinster as what we haven't done in the league, and the league just hasn't transformed across. But like I said, it's been very stop start. It's kind of week on, week off, week on, week off. Haven't had a good run in the league yet.
Yeah, Sunday gone out there. I thought it was a massive game for both clubs. Like obviously when you're down in that area and you're trying to keep as many clubs as you can down there, it was a massive 3 points for Rovers to take over. Were you disappointed or?
Oh yeah, still disappointed. It's probably a bigger game for Rovers because there's so many more games played. Like I suppose we took 3 points off them at the start of the season. They got 3 points back off us. Still, they were well worth their win on Sunday. We didn't play well. We didn't show up. The two lads, Rafi and Dapo, played fairly well. Ian Sinna played very well as well. And then Garfield back in the goal is just. When I saw him coming out, I was kind of going, "There's something else going on." Like we're just not getting any look at all in the league. Like when he turned up, and he made a couple of good saves, but then he made the saves a goalkeeper would make that some goalkeepers can't make. You know, just little catches when they're hopping on the ground and stuff like that. And
just a good goalkeeper.
And look, it's his consistency.
Yeah,
you can't forget that Garfield, like I spoke about, he's won everything in the game. You know, in Wexford, you know, so he's super level of consistency, his communication and everything like that. Obviously would help a young defence, and when he's there, you have to wheel him out. So the game, like you've said, Rovers went really well. They deserved it.
Yeah, they deserved it. Well, they went better than us, but they did deserve it. They probably they hit the post as well. Had a couple of more chances than we had. Now we had a couple of chances that we just didn't put them away. Kind of probably lost it in around the middle of the field as well. That battle, it was just one of those days. It just didn't work for us.
And back to the game Sunday then, is there excitement among the players? Are they looking forward to this, maybe get away from the pressures of the league to just relax that little bit more in this competition, or are they really up for it? Can you sense yourself they're up for it, or do they think maybe a step too far now from?
No, it's not a step too far.
And you says I'm harsh.
No, everyone is up for it. It's one of those, like it's you're getting to the stage now where it is another game, but the next game, if you can get through this one, then there's a bigger carrot, and the carrot keeps getting bigger and bigger. And like that for any team in Wexford to be getting to the last 16, possibility of getting to a quarter final, I think everyone should be excited about it. In the club anyway, I think everyone will be excited.
Look, if you win, you're in the quarter final. Leinster, it's a great achievement, but is there a double-sided sword to that that'll be another game for you, and even as it stands, I think after this Sunday there'll be 6 games behind Campoyle. Any concerns that way with a lot of evening fixtures? I know you have a lot of lads work away and all, or you worry about that when it comes around?
Yeah, I don't think you can. I think the way it is now, it is what it is. I think we just have to worry about when it comes around. Like that, I wouldn't see it as a double-edged sword. It's trying to win the game when you win it, and if you get to the quarter final, you're trying to win that, and you're trying to win then whatever league game is thrown up in front of you. So, we can't predict it. We can't.
Well, I don't know, Joe. What? Obviously, I can't put words in your mouth, but I suppose
we'll try.
Anytime we got kind of up into the latter stages of it, then you start taking it serious. You know, like the first 3 or 4 rounds were never important in the Leinster Junior and FAI to us.
Never
when
important, you.
No, well, obviously when we got up into the latter stages of it, you would have been we didn't do it often enough. But
You might have took the Leinster series, but you never took the FAI series.
No, no, definitely not. So like that's 10 years ago. Aidan loves bringing up the past, so he does. But sure, like they now become every bit as important as a league game, don't it? You know, that in its own merit, because you're getting this far now. So like, I'm sure the nerves and the attention and to detail will start. Well, it's probably kicked in already. Thinking about the game coming up this Sunday, because a lot of organisation, like what time you're going to be picked up at, do you stop on the way up, and so you've gone through all that prep already.
Yeah, lucky enough now, to be fair, like Barry, Will, Andy Butler, those lads will all we talk about getting buses and talk about who else is going. Like there'll be a couple of supporters or whatever, they'll be going up, and then a couple of lads off the second team will be going up. They have no game, so I'm lucky enough that those lads are all they'll help out and dig in on that and playing as well at the same time. So yeah, preparations are in, but it'll be different. It will be different because it's a 2 hour journey in a car, so probably 2.5 in a bus. So you have to stop really on the way up.
Look, from us, all the best, and it'll be great to get a second team definitely in the quarter final. Just so all the best from us. And just on that, Nicky, Northender playing Trinity dominate, or they might not be. You have a bit of info on that there.
Yeah, well, I think there's a protest going in. Setitas, is it? Or all about protests. So it doesn't look like that game might take place this weekend, and so that'll be probably pushed off week or a fortnight before that's all done and dusted. But look at best of luck, Joe. Obviously for the rest of the season, and more importantly,
to be the second Wexford team in the
Sunday,
Leinster quarter final.
Yeah, with the Shine Bows, and like it's a great achievement, especially. And I'm not being disrespectful when I say it, but a small club like Crossabeg, it's a great achievement, you know, and fair play to you, and wish you the best luck.
All the best, Joe. Thank you.
Thanks.
Kicked out of the house again on Sunday. Nicky got 2 games in. The second game was the FAI game. Gorey with a great 3-0 win on penalties. Good game.
Yeah, great game.
Impressed by Gorey?
Yeah, and it was I got kicked out of the house, Aidan. Look at yeah, Gorey. I wouldn't. It was a good game. 2 teams are fairly even. Very little shoes between either of them. Fucking went down to penalties. 3 left footers took penalties for Peak Villa and just really missed them. So never liked a left footer taking a penalty for some reason. So, but look, Gorey done really well considering they're down a lot of players, and they kept themselves in it, and they're in an All-Ireland semi-final.
It was final on the after they went 1-0 up, but then I think Peakville equalised straight away. How did Gorey react to that? And obviously react well enough. So.
Well, within seconds, Gorey were up 1-0, and then within a couple of seconds, it was back to 1-1. Neither keeper had massive amount to do. Ryan Cullen was back in centre half beside Conor Cassidy, and in fairness to Casso, he just gets better and better every week. He's definitely one of the most underrated players in the whole of the county, if not Leinster. He was excellent in centre half again. Yeah, he was really good. And in fairness to Gavin O'Brien, I thought last year he probably might not like me saying this, but he was carrying a little bit of weight last year.
On weight tonight,
so but he's really after slimming down, and he covered every blade of the pitch. Wearing the captain's armband, and I really like Gavin as a player. He just keeps it really simple, and I'm sure Willie be delighted he got Ethan Vickers off the bench. Ethan's been carrying an injury the last couple of weeks, so he got minutes in his belt, and he done really well. Now, but they're going to, when they come up against Villa the next day out, they're going to be missing Paul Brennan. Paul was sent off in extra time, and I done enough giving out to referees when I managed myself, but I really thought it was a terrible decision. Now, he didn't make an attempt to play the ball, but all he done was strip the player, and to receive a straight red card and to miss out on an FAI semi-final for it was I just thought it was shocking, to be honest with you.
Yeah, looking to have Villa in the next round. That's all Gorey and Willie be interested now is getting back to that semi-final and trying to put the wrongs of last year right this year. The Villa at home, I suppose just to clarify, it is a home county draw rather than a home ground draw. They can't play it in their ground. It's an FAI ruling. It has to be
there's a few little rules on it. There's certain things like the pitch has to be fenced off. It has to be a managed access and all that kind of stuff in it. So has to have
all the things Gorey do have in fairness, but they still can't play it.
They still can't play it. It has to be played outside of their home pitch. So it has to be within the county. So we've a good few venues there within the county. Like you have obviously with Ferrycarrig, with North End, with Bunclody. Any of them lads could facilitate it. So let's hope that it's kept in the county. And and Gorey, they're going to be up against Villa. Like in the betting goes, I think it's Cockhill, Villa,
Cockhill and
Villa,
Pike
who's
in the other semi-final.
Pike, and then Gorey are fourth in the betting in it. So look at the betting won't matter to them. They're in the last four of Ireland, the same again last year. So it's a fantastic achievement.
To do it 2 years in a row, it's just shows.
Really,
and they got to a Leinster final last year as well, in fairness to them.
Yeah, it's a brilliant achievement. And I look at they deserve it. They're playing well. Like if you look at last year, they never had an injury or suspension really. And the amount of games they played, and this year between losing players picking up injuries, it's been a tougher run for them. But look, they're there in with a shout, and at the end of the day, they're 90 minutes away from an FAI.
Yeah, look, we wish them all the best in that. And the other outside game at the weekend was an all-Wexford game in Bows versus Bunclody. I think we both said Bows should win it, and they won it. I think comfortably 3-1 down on the Astro on CBS Saturday night.
Yeah, from all accounts, they picked up the win and they move into the last 8, isn't it? So, look at the Wild Bows haven't been great in the league. They've been very, very consistent in the outside competition, and they'll be delighted. Bunclody have been quite similar in their consistency with their form. They're going to have to start looking over their shoulder now. They'll be just back to the league, and they're going to be up against it now over the next couple of weeks. They're going to have some big games coming up. Yeah,
I think it'll be Bows' first time in the quarter final of this competition. I think Nicky said that to us one night there, didn't he?
Could have done, yeah. So
it'll be massive for them. They've been probably looking at North End get to these competitions beside as neighbours. So it's great for them as a club, isn't it, to get to the quarter final. And maybe if North End win their game, maybe they might like North End in the quarter final.
Well, I don't know about liking getting North End. I'm sure if I was the manager of Bows, I'd be trying to stay away from North End and hopefully get look on the other side of a draw against somebody who mightn't take Bows for granted or anything like that they could sneak into. But look at it on the day, Bows could hurt North End, yeah.
Yeah, we wish all them the best in the quarter final too. We're on then to the Wexford Cup. We had 4 games or 5 games in this last week. We had Shelbourne. Maybe you know all about being scared out there. North End nearly got a bit of a scare out there. 2-1 win after being 1-0 down.
Yeah, Shelbourne is a tough place to go. To be honest with you, just show no respect for
nobody
for Premier teams going down there. So
it's good though, isn't it?
It's brilliant. A couple of years ago, they brought us to extra time, and we managed to get out of it down there. And last year, they actually knocked us out of the cup. So I knew it was going to be sticky for North End going down. But look at their class just barely shone out, and a 2-1 victory. Look at North End won't give a damn. They're in the next round now.
Yeah, and the another game of that was the Enniscorthy Derby, mine versus the Ajax game. Both we were at. I think 3-0 was a fair reflection on the game. In fairness, wasn't it? Mine started fairly well.
No, not really. I don't think so. I think the mine probably could have won by more. They were by far the better team. The one thing that I have been impressed with the mine has been their attitude since Christmas. In fairness to them. Lenny again I thought was excellent up top. He was really, really good. Sean Miller did another really good game, centre half. And the lads were really, really solid there throughout. Dylan Cloak made one really good save. Shems Kelly actually missed it. He gave a goal kick and Dylan was raging in the goal there. They could have made it 4. And look at the mine just completely dominated. I thought in possession, and that's not an Ajax. Just the mine they came up against a better team on the day.
They played well. In fairness to the mine lads, they have been playing well probably all year. Bars sticky spell there when we're not going to go back what happened just before Christmas and after Christmas when they had Gorey North End 2 weeks in a row.
Fort Celtic as well did a tough run of fixtures then, a couple of weeks, didn't they?
So they had a good start. The other game, last year's beaten finalist Ferns, comfortable 6-1 win with Division 3A High Flyers Blackwater. You surprised at the scoring this? I thought maybe Blackwater might have put up more of a show.
Not really. Like, you look, Blackwater only back in the league. It's their first year. If a Premier team at home gets a run on a Division 3A division team, this should be nearly putting them to bed. And that's a decent Fern side. So they got it wrapped up fairly easy and got it done and dusted. Yeah,
and then Camp Hyle beating North End B team 3-1. Jamie Myler, player I have to say I read very highly with a hat-trick. Good player, any?
Jamie's good, yeah. He's a good player, yeah. And if Camp Hyle are going to get out of a relegation battle, they'll definitely need Jamie to be full focused between now to the end of the season. And look, a fair play to Camp Hyle. They've been a bit hit and miss this year, but they're in the next round.
And then round behind them again is Rosslare and Fort Celtic. Fort Celtic got a bit of a scare here, being brought to extra time. Fort Celtic winning at 4-1 extra time, scoring 3 goals. I see Adam Beery scored again for him. I said at the time he's going to be a cracking signing for him, and I think he's scored in every game he's played for him so far.
He's played 2 games, has he?
3.
3. No, look, sure. If you're signing Adam Beery, let me tell you, Fort Celtic are lucky to get him. There's another 9 or 10 clubs in the Premier League that would definitely took Adam Beery all day long. And look, at goal scorers are the hardest thing to find on a pitch, and that's one thing Adam does. He scores goals and scores important goals. And look, at Fort are around behind, but they'll be more than happy to get over that. Rosslare Rangers always had a really good pedigree, cup pedigree. So look, it's a good win for Fort, even though it was after extra time.
Would there be a shout for the cup for Celtic?
It depends on the draw, really, isn't it? You know, if they can stay away from any of the, say, your North Ends, your Gories, even another game against Ferns, Des Moines, if they could stay away from them until semi-final stage, you never know. And it's only a few years ago Fort Celtic knocked North End out of a cup semi-final, and Camp Hyle beat Shamrock Rovers, and it ended up being a Camp Hyle Fort Celtic final. So and I think they were in another one since then. So Fort have their own history in the cup.
Yeah, I think Fort Celtic still have to play another round before the last 16, and then Camp or Gorey and Shamrock still have to play before we get down to the last 16.
Yep.
Move on to the Premier. Then we only did one game. Cross the Beg, beaten by your club Shamrock Rovers. Young Jamie Pepper getting the first goal.
My old club, Aidan. So yeah,
You getting a new one?
No, not. I'm enjoying sitting down here with you every week. So
lovely, sure.
Look, that's a massive win for Shamrock Rovers. Absolutely massive win.
Completely out of relegation battle now.
Yeah, look, they're on 18 points. But the only thing is, like, they've a really tough run in now. As I said before, they've the Ferns, they've Gorey, they've North End, they've Des Moines, they've Fort Celtic. So in fairness to Ken, and I'll have to give him credit for this, he had 2 cup finals. He had Ajax and Cross the Beg, and they came out the 2 of them winning the 2 games. And maybe it's a coincidence, but they've kept 2 clean sheets in it. And I know Garfield, Lee Murphy is back in the goal. Like, for me, Lee was one of the best goalkeepers in Wexford for 10-12 years. He was super consistent, very rarely made a mistake, and he was organised. And the one thing Lee hated was conceding a goal. If we were winning 5-0 and he conceded one and ended up 5-1, he used to be going mad in the dressing room. So if he brings that mentality back to the young lads around him, he's vital experience. And Aaron Stafford can learn off of Lee and how he does that. Yeah. Aaron's a very good chap, so if Aaron should be definitely sticking around and learning off of Lee.
A couple of years ago, you had 3 top class keepers in Lee, Pat Island, Whacker, Lee in the league. Like, fairness.
So yeah,
maybe that quality keeper is not quite there at the moment. It's good to see Pat and Lee still playing. Maybe, and Whacker he got injured, didn't he?
Yeah, he's injured. Yeah, with North End's second team, but. I know, look at maybe it's a coincidence, but it's definitely helped the Rovers backline with Garfield going back in between the posts.
Yeah, and we have 3 games in the Premier this week. We have Mine and Ajax again in the Scottish Derby when they were playing each other's last week. Do you think last week's game will have any bearing on it? Maybe the mine might take the foot off the pedal a bit, thinking it might be a bit easy, and maybe Ajax really need to win this one, don't they? They definitely need 3 points there if they have any hope.
Yeah, I look at to do. They definitely need to pick up something in it. It's a game where you could end up seeing it being a draw because, like, if the Mine go out with the same attitude and the same intensity and everything like that, they should be favourites to win it. But if they don't, Ajax, as you just said, could definitely sneak something out of it. A point is not going to be any good. While they're not mathematically relegated or anything like that, they're just going to have to start picking up wins.
There's one thing about them, though, like Brian Rowan and Massey, Glenn Buckner, they're not going to lie down, in fairness.
No. I would definitely not Brian Ronan. He definitely won't. Liam Moore's another chap who'll keep trying there. Dylan Cloak in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, and then another game at Campile and Ferns. I think this one could be interesting. Ferns long travel out to Campile. Maybe they'll have an eye on the cup. They can't really do anything in the league now. Only finish as high as they can, obviously, but they're not going to be winning it or anything. But Campile win this, it really opens up that relegation down there, not it?
It definitely does. Across the Beg and Bunclody are definitely going to be keeping an eye on that fixture. They'll definitely want Ferns to do something and to keep them down around that area, keep Campile down in that area, because if Campile win it, they move to 14 points. You could nearly be safe at that. No, I don't think so, because
put Crossbeg 7 behind, but I know Crossbeg will have 7 games.
Yeah, we'll play
6 games.
Yeah, but it's not points on the board. Look at it. It's a big game. I was talking to Martin Redmond the other night, and they're picking from a very, very small panel down there. So I'd say
their B team doing so well as well, they're not going to want to.
No. So they're not going to be taking lads from that. That one could go anywhere. I'd say maybe a draw. What do you think?
Yeah, I just think Jamie Myler, in Campile. Jamie seems to be on a bit of form. I think Campile might win this one myself. And then the last game in the Premier is one that's going to affect both ends of the table. Gorey on the top, Bunclody down near the bottom. It's in Bunclody. Do you think Gorey will have a
hangover?
Not a hangover, but maybe an eye on the FAI. Think about the FAI. Just like we were saying to ourselves last week, you don't get these opportunities too often to play in FAI semi-finals. They've been, I'm not going to say lucky, because they deserve to be in 2 semi-finals when you get to 2 in a row, but I think they'll really want to take this opportunity after losing last year. And it's only in a couple of weeks, isn't it?
Well, it's not until the 7th of April, I think. A lot of it comes down to the manager then, doesn't it? Making sure that the players are motivated and things like that. At the end of the season, or at the end of last season, Gorey's first thing this year probably would have been, we retained the Premier League. So that has to be still number one focus. That's the one thing that you play 20 games and your bread and butter. So I'm sure Willie will be definitely trying to focus in on that. Bunclody then are obviously scrapping for their own lives down there. So look at it, it's going to be a tough game. A few lads look like starting to come back into the squad. Like I said, the 2 Vickers and a couple of bits and pieces were coming around. So Willie will have to definitely use his squad. It's tough because obviously Gorey's first team, something like what Ferns we were just talking about, they're going really well in Division 1. So it's going to be really tough run in now towards the end of the season. But I'd still fancy Gorey to come out. And look, if Gorey want to win a league, they're the games they have to beat. It's not. We just spoke with Kyle last week, and Kyle said that North End and Goggy used to say, look, at draw with the teams around you and beat the lads below you. And it's up to the other teams then to drop points. So that's
It'll be a good game. I think Gorey just be too strong for him in the end.
Probably so, yeah.
Move on to Division 1 then. The big game was All Blacks and Gorey. Gorey coming out 3-2 winners. Yeah,
a big win for Gorey, in fairness to him. Killian Cush doing really, really well down there. I think that put him on 10 goals. Just a great win. I was talking to Kevin Kavanagh the other day there, and he was saying that it was a tough game. The All Blacks were well in the game, and they just came out on top, and it's a great win.
Put All Blacks out running for the league title now, 10 points behind, and Only a game in hand in Angori.
Yeah, I think it puts All Blacks out of the running to win the league. Obviously they're still in with a shout of maybe getting promotion. But yeah, I kind of think it's maybe down to a 3-horse race now. Between all Gorey, Ross Celtic, and Cork
Cora.
Ramblers.
Yeah, we just move on then. Cora had a 4-1 win against Bartown. My picture on the wall down there must have plenty of darts in it at the moment. Another great win from 4-1.
Yeah, a great win in fairness, and they're scoring lots of goals. I was talking to actually John Fanning the other night. They've an extremely tough run in coming up now over the next couple of weeks. So there's a lot of teams like Gorey have to travel in Ross, and Cora, and so there's going to be a bit of to and fro in that league, and it all depends on who picks up the points, and especially on their home turf.
Then Ross Celtic 3-1 win against Clabon. They do look like maybe the ones to challenge Gorey for the title, don't they, at the moment?
Yeah, well, look at they're after
the sign of 2 foxes will be good for them too now coming into the running.
Yeah, definitely. But they also have they've Eggy there and they've Ricky who've won everything. I don't think Boots won the premiers and things like that. But Eggy and Ricky definitely have enough experience in that kind of setup to see him through games, and they couldn't ask for 2 lads with more experience and 2 completely different characters.
Yeah, and with the Neil O'Sullivan this week, we've only the 1 game in the Division 1 with Shelbourne v Rosslare Rangers. Kind of more of a less a relegation battle now at this stage, you know?
Yeah, a big relegation, really. It sucks Rosslare right in if Shelbourne wins, so big game for both clubs.
Division 2 then we had 5 games, full round. We had Tom Brack 2-0 win against Fort Celtic. And Scar United still going well under Bill Wrigley now, flying 2-1 win against Adamstown. Bowes, second team beating Killeen 2-1. Kilmore getting back to winning ways after a dodgy few weeks with a 3-2 away win to Curraclaw, and Ratnure, who was a few bad results in the last couple of weeks, with a 4-1 win again Wexford Celtic. This is a still wide open league, Nicky, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a hard one to call, because a couple of weeks ago we thought that Kilmore were just going to completely run away, and even a week or 2 before that we thought Ratnure, and we were kind of writing off St. Joseph's, but I know Joseph's have games in hand, but they're sitting there on top of the table, and they'll be counting down the fixtures week by week. And Escort United are on a great run. I think they're the form team in the whole of Wexford at the minute. And if they keep winning, they might give themselves a little squeeze for the promotion, and whoever has to go to United are going to be in for an extremely tough game.
Yeah, the standout game in that division this week will be the Ratnure going into Escort United.
Yeah.
Ratnure will have to win that one, won't they?
Yeah, I'd have to win it, yeah. But look, it's getting, as I think Ferguson used to call it, squeaky bum time now. So every game now, if you're in the top of no matter what division, whether it's Division 5 or Premier, it's they're all must win now, and they're going to be tough games.
Yeah, in Division 3 then, the leaders Fastnet beating Mine 2-1. Leonard's winning 1-0 against Duncannon. Shamrock Rovers, strong team now with Ricky Dwyer and John O'Connor playing for Minta. 4-1 win against Gorey Celtic, and Camolan 2-2 with I'll get. Yeah,
the Rovers are extremely strong with the 2 lads. The 2 lads are more than capable of playing a lot higher than Division 3. But look at they could have thrown their ties out of the pram and left and went to other clubs, but they stayed with their club. Stayed, and they're playing with the B team, and they're making the B team strong, and definitely helping out Podge O'Toole in that front. Yeah. And you couldn't get 2 more experienced and better players to have.
2-horse race there too. I think Ballymurn, Fastnet. Ballymurn 2 games in hand will bring them up point behind Fastnet to win them. As you said earlier, you have to win them though.
Yeah, you have to win them. But the 2 of them have looked like they're the best 2 sides in that league. Camolan won't be happy with the saying it, but they do look like the 2 strongest. Yeah,
we move on then to the Neil O'Sullivan Cup. Shamrock Rovers, again Bridge Rovers, capable of causing a shock in that. Division 3 again, Division 1 side. Yeah, well, boys want the cup side, are they?
Yeah, there will be. I don't think Dougal is, but Jono's cup tied. Yeah, look at the Rovers lads they could easily. It's going to be up in Rovers, so they could do quite well. Bridge Rovers have been hit and miss a bit this year, so look at you obviously Bridge have to be fancy. They're the Division 1 team, but yeah, could happen.
Then we've All Blacks again, Clabon, Adamson v Islegate, Fastnet v Cortown, Wexford Celtic v Kilmore, North End, I think Mick Farrell said to us one night down in Ferrycarrig that we're going to win the Neil O'Sullivan, so we'll see how that goes against Duncannon. And then the next two games that are around in this, Core Ramblers, Ross Celtic, two teams flying Division 1. How do you see that one going? It's a competition both will want to go well into.
But did Ross win it last year? Yeah, they did, didn't it?
Yeah, beat Bunclody.
Yeah, Ross won it last year. So obviously they'll want to retain it. Core John Fanning's down there. He's going to want to win something. He'll want a cup. But like the two of them are going against each other in the league as well. So like it's a bit of a tricky one how would you manage that one? It's a bit of a tricky one. Like do you show your hand a bit or do you make a couple of changes? So it depends on whatever way each manager wants to go with it.
I think maybe both maybe have to sit down and think, are Gorey catchable? And then seeing as their best chance of a trophy winning medal in this Neil O'Sullivan, I think for the two of them it could be. No, they won't like me for saying either of them, so I think they'll have to really go for it, the two of them.
Yeah, could end up being that way, yeah.
Mm. And then that brings us to Gorey again. Ballymurn, you were saying an informed team. Ballymurn, who reached the semi-final Leinster the other day by beating Bree in the all-Wexford quarter-final Leinster Junior Shield. Think they could cause a shock here down in Gorey? I think if they had a home tie, I'd give them a shout, but away from home I think Gorey will have too much from. Yeah,
they could look at they could well cause a shock, but it all depends on which manager wants to do as well in that one. Does Vinny throw in a few lads who are not getting the game time because he's looking at the Neil O'Sullivan saying maybe that's out of reach where we can win Division 3 and go up. So you'd have to wait and see. The Gorey lads obviously are going to be red hot favourites going into it. Look at it. It could go. Obviously, it could go either way, but you'd have to fancy Gorey coming out that on top.
Yeah, I think Gorey will. Look, we're on about Ballymurn. We'll go back to the Leinster Junior Shield. We 2 games in it last week, and Scotty Town losing out to Trinity and Dominate. I'll get it right this week. I won't put them in the Caribbean. Losing out 5-0, and then, as I said, the quarter final all Wexford tie and went to extra time, didn't it? Ballymurn winning 2-1 in extra time. Two teams flying in the division. I suppose you go by league tables, the result was expected, but I think Ballymurn will prioritise now, try to win it.
Actually, when you're in the semi-final of a national competition, you have to. And in fairness to them, they deserve to be there. They're doing fantastic work down there. Their team's getting stronger and stronger each year. And to be honest with you, I didn't expect them to go quite as well as this year, because I thought last year, looking at them in the Billy Brown Cup final, they were maybe being a bit of an older squad or an Asian squad, but Vinny's kept bringing in young lads, and they're doing really, really well. And in fairness to them, and you have to wish them the best of luck in the semi-final. Yeah,
I really hope to do. I think they're safe enough for promotion. I think I would really like to see them prioritise, because I said earlier, these opportunities don't come across too often, and a chance to win as you said, a Leinster title, it'd be a great achievement for Ballymurn. I think it'd really drive the club on. So
sure, like I know I'm going back on last week again, but we had Eggy on last week, and he was on about playing in 2010 or 11 against St. Michael's in an FAI junior semi-final, and he never got that opportunity come around again, you know. So you have to take these opportunities when they're there.
Yeah, look, plenty of games ahead. Nicky, what game would you think you'll see yourself going to this weekend?
I don't know. I actually haven't really looked at a whole lot this weekend.
And Scardy United Rat Newer one, I think.
That could be a standout fixture. All right,
lower divisions, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I might do something in the afternoon. I might just go down to divisions this week and pick out something. And next week, then we have a cup draw coming up next week, so. I might pick one or two of the teams that I haven't seen yet this year and try to get to them. Yeah.
Well, thanks for everyone for tuning in. And as I said, there's some great games all weekend in Wexford Soccer, so get out and support everyone playing. Thank you.